Shivago Lang has fell down on the job.
I think we should talk about.
We can't blame this on Shivago.
Solutions.
We are men now. Come on now. We can't blame this on Shivago Lang because we would not have saved. I heard him say it, and I didn't save nothing.
Lang has been complacent. Lang,
Say it again, Fritinga.
Lang has been complacent. He rested upon his laurels.
What is the real economic status of the Bahamas today?
Just last year, January of 2008, I'm certain that we all can remember with the junior minister of finance, the Honorable Shivago Laing, he boldly stated, not just on radio but also in print, that the Bahamian economy will grow by 3.5% on the lowest end and 4% on the highest end compared to the same time last year, which would have been 2007. While all indications in the United States, based on their economy, were showing that they were headed for a very serious recession. To this day, it is now April of 2009. He has yet to apologize to the Bahamian people for publicly misleading them. Had he stated then that we are headed for rough times, every penny that you earn, please save it. I guarantee you, a vast majority of those individuals, in particular, those individuals who work in the hotel industry, they would have been in a better position that they are in now today, okay, had he made that comment.
I ain't sure about that, but
And it's very...
us Bahamians don't save, Omar. Come on now. We don't save.
But I'm certain,
We go to Miami every other week.
if they were told, stop the traveling, we got hard times ahead, tourism is not going to be the way that it has been over the past 20 years, you need to start saving, this is going to be a rough year, and also 2009, leading up to the beginning of 2010, they would have done something.
I don't think so.
about it.
But Omar, I remember the Prime Minister did say that buckle your belt. Some tough times is coming. I did hear him say that
He
in
said
January.
that during the debate in the House of Assembly, the budget debate. That's 6 months after Shivago Lang made that comment.
I think we should talk about.
Shivago Lang has fell down on the job.
I
Big
think
time.
we should talk about.
We can't blame this on Shivago.
Solutions.
We are men now. Come on now. We can't blame this on Shivago Lang because we would not have saved. I heard him say it, and I didn't save nothing.
Lang has been complacent. Lang,
Say it again, Fritinga.
Lang has been complacent. He rested upon his laurels. Lang know that the economy was on a downward spiral, but Lang intentionally turned a blind eye.
Everybody was watching the U.S. See, we too dependent on the U.S.
No, it's not.
That's what it is.
It's not a matter of dependent of the U.S. We have our own economy. You know, and
We do?
We don't have.
Watchdog.
We do? We do?
We had an economy, but what I'm talking
When?
about is still ours.
When?
It's destructed thanks to the FNM and Shivago Lang.
Gentlemen,
We not getting into politics, but I don't support that.
It isn't politics. It isn't politics. You know, we are afraid of saying who is actually causing the problem. Why is it we cannot call names? You know,
I tend to differ on that.
But free take, come on, how is Shivago causing the problem?
who is Shivago Lang? I can tell you something. I've been asking Shivago Lang a specific question from last year, over a year ago. You know, as it relates to our national debt and our the national debt and our foreign reserve and also our GDP. And you know, his answer to me is that we don't have to worry until it reaches around 36%. Right? But you know, with the question, he came out recently to say that it's over 40%. We must now be conservative and, watch how we spend our money.
We should have been conservative from the get-go.
No.
This is what he should have said from the get-go.
When the FNM administration came to office, Laing and Hubert Ingram, they were supposed to be more diligent and looking at, to say, our deficit, because our national deficit is ridiculous. I'm talking about it's over 40% of GDP, and he's just crying to say, we must be conservative now. Right now, it's about time for Shivago Lang to just turn his back and just keep walking, man. Keep walking.
That makes no sense.
It does make sense.
That makes no sense.
whatsoever.
We are here to build men.
Yes.
We are not here to destroy or pull them down.
If we think you should leave Shivago alone.
Leave him alone.
Let me give you some of the numbers. Our GDP right now is $7 billion. Our debt to GDP is over 40% at the moment.
Dollar devaluation at 40%. Devaluation of dollar at 40%, okay?
Yes. Well, I mean, I'm not...
Why Shivago Lang isn't coming out saying that?
Well, I'm not going there. The Prime Minister's making some statements.
And the Prime Minister should say something himself, because he's the the Minister of Finance. Okay?
I
What I can see what's going on in this country is that these men, they can see that the economy is on a downward spiral or finished, and what they're really doing is, keeping it to themselves so that they can get buy off what they can buy off.
Well, free thinker, seeing that Lester Cox wants to bring figures into this, let's just say this.
They can bring the figures.
When the FNM came into power during the first 6 months after their election, they took 220 million from our foreign reserves and an additional 120 million from our excess liquidity. This was printed in a daily, that being the Tribune, from a press statement by the former Prime Minister Perry Glasson Christie, when he stated the FNM has yet to explain what they have done to that $340 million.
They paid, you know what's happened with the money? The FNM administration has too many persons in office. The previous administration, they have the junior ministers and the ministers. It's too much persons to be paying.
We ain't here to dissect the FNM government, right?
No. See.
Let me tell you something. To be honest and frank with you, you're not going to tell the Bahamian public nothing that they don't already know.
So you're saying we feel it's already in the communities?
They don't know
Listen, let's talk about how we reroute ourselves out of the mess we're in. Not sit here and talk about but how we get there.
Well, in terms of our community, the big concern is, do you remember this? Hold on.
Let me finish.
Do you remember when the Progressive Liberal Party back
that's
just before? Hold on.
To me, that's
just
not
before the 2002 general election.
The public out there want to know what can we do to make this thing go away.
Just before the 2002 general election,
let me tell you something.
Dexter Johnson in charge of
managing money.
Mr. Darling, this is very important.
It's not an individual issue,
Omar, let him go.
Managing money is a situation where folks have to help you manage your money, where folks have to be trained and knowledgeable of how to utilize and manage their funds. The funds that we generate in society must be in a situation where the funds can go back into society so that you can prosper back out of that fund. Let me finish. Look around town in Nassau right now. Look at the schemes that's going around town. And I put something on my blog on Bahamas Online, and I called it 3 for 5, whilst the cost of food is extremely high. Now, let me explain that to you. Right now, today, in the capital or in anywhere in the Bahamas, you can get 3 cold collects right now with ice for $5.
What's wrong with that?
Where you gonna go with $5 in the Bahamas? So what you trying to say to me? Keep the people drunk? I think if the Bahamian males begin to consume less amount of alcohol beverages, they'll be able to make a more smarter, managerial, financial decision. We've got to look at what we have, gentlemen, before us on the table. It's too late now to point fingers. Our politicians are all outdated and dying.
So, Sherman, your recommendation is to raise the price of beer?
My recommendation is this. If we can get 3 cold collects with ice for $5, then I believe.
Omar,
then I believe that we can drop the price of food. How are we going to drop the price of food? Here's what we need to deal with. We need to look at the fact that the import rate in the Bahamas is too high. What the government should be doing is lessen the import rates on products so that the Bahamians can be able to afford or to be able to have a decent meal.
We need to stop importing foods from
and
America.
Start growing our own food.
Our own.
This is the point I'm trying to get at.
That's a 10-year project.
Hold on, darling.
Let me introduce you to a big word. It's called the country's current account, right? The way our economy is organized in Bahamas, we're really a U.S. dollar-based economy.
Yes.
So in other words, we live in Bahamian dollars, right? But we spend in U.S. dollars.
Yes.
Right. So if you really want to fix things in the Bahamas, what you've got to encourage Bahamians to do is you've got to look at where we spending money, and we spend our biggest bill in the Bahamas is on oil. The second one is on the things we import, like cars and stuff like that. And the third is food, right? So if you want to affect our situation, you've got to find ways to spend less money on foreign items. And then you've got to also encourage Bahamians to become owners of the economy. So we've got to find ways to own the banking industry, and we've got to find ways to improve in terms of the rooms, the hotel rooms. Right now we own 40% of the rooms in the Bahamas. We've got to find ways to take it up to 50, 60%. That's how we improve our situation.